It's Gen Con 2015. I guess that's like a theme of these recent videos for some strange reason.
Yeah.
And Anne-Marie DeWitt is joining me from Fireside Games, and you've got a new title coming out. It's out. I should say it's here.
Actually, we flew over some advanced copies for Gen Con.
Right.
It actually doesn't release until September 16th, so people are getting a sneak peek at it now.
And we're going to talk about that in depth in just a moment. But the first thing I wanted to mention is how impressive Fireside Games is.
Oh, thank you.
You guys run a first-class organization. I mean, with your staff of hundreds.
Yeah.
Obviously. Right?
Yes, that's right.
And I always look forward to any of your releases that are coming out.
Great.
Even if it's not necessarily something that is going to like really rock my world. Like Bears is great for kids and families and stuff like that. I'm a little more of a, heavier gamer than that. But everything you do is always just top-notch quality, too.
Thank you so much.
So congratulations on how well you've done and how quickly you've grown over the past few years.
Thank you. Yeah, it's been really dramatic growth. So we appreciate you noticing.
Oh, yeah. I keep my eyes open, that's for sure. Because I know the first time I ran across you, and I believe it was at Origins, and Justin and yourself, you had like this little booth off to the side, and Castle Panic was your first game.
Yeah, a little 10 by 10. So.
Yeah, right, exactly. It's like, thanks for the cubicle space.
And we had I think a 6'4" friend. I think he weighs about 300 pounds. And I think he took about a third of the booth. It was hard to show the game, but.
Okay, if you look behind this gentleman's back, this is where we've got. But speaking of the new game, it's the Village Crone.
That's right.
And the first question I would have is, what inspired you to design a game about my girlfriend?
Well, we haven't met, but when I grew up, I just loved witches. I wanted to be able to cast spells, and I watched Bewitched, and was witches were.
And you
really
were sitting
fun.
there going, "Why can't I get my nose to do that?"
Exactly. And so I thought when I started designing games, I really wanted to take that love and translate that into kind of a witch experience. And so I tried a few things a couple of years ago that just weren't working out. The first was a pentagram board, and Justin said, "We can't have a board with a pentagram." He thought people would go crazy. Yeah, and I'm like,
we want people from the Catholic Church to play this game.
Yeah, but I'm like, you see pentagrams in movies all the time now. I didn't think it was that big of a deal, but there are folks that are sensitive. So
yes, there are.
Yeah, so I went back to the drawing board, and it was actually when we were training a friend of ours for Gen Con last year. I had this sudden inspiration about it being a medieval village and casting spells, messing with the villagers and drawing ingredients from locations, and I had to rise. Excuse me, and I ran and wrote my ideas down, and came back. And
you're
that's
on
all
your
I
own,
could think
Tranny.
of.
I trained you now. Get to work. I got some notes I got to make.
Yeah, and that was the year Munchkin Panic came out, and so everyone was wanting to know about Munchkin Panic, and meanwhile, all I could think about was this Village Crone, and so I, worked really hard on it, play tested for several months, and a friend of ours who works for Steve Jackson Games, he's the artist, one of the primary artists there, Alex Fernandez. We love his art, and so we asked him if he would do the art for us, and we just let him go. We think he did a tremendous job with it. So
let's talk about kind of more like along the theme, because when somebody says, well, it's a game about witchcraft, and of course people are seeing video of what the game looks like.
Right.
But if they're just listening to a podcast, they're going witchcraft. So, I mean, it could be like really dark and foreboding kind of game, or it could be really lighthearted and fun. Yeah. What's kind of the feel of Village Crone?
Yeah, I would say the feel is more lighthearted and fun. You're not, there's no devil worshipping, and you don't kill anything. It's
I'm poisoning
messing
the water supply.
Exactly. Yeah, it's more messing with people. You can turn people into frogs. You can find locations. You can cause the villagers to go to a different location, switch familiars up so that the other players can't get the resources they need. So it's really kind of messing, and you have witches scheme cards that you're working with, and those are the way you score points. And so you want to cast spells that allow you to meet those schemes to score the points.
Okay.
And so, it's an experience where one person trying to achieve their goal could be at cross purposes to what you're doing, or it could help you, And so you have protection spells you might be able to cast. So it's kind of, this dynamic interchange of players, trying to achieve what they're trying to, and sometimes helping each other, sometimes hurting each other.
So it's not necessarily a co-op game, but it's where you might negotiate a little bit with one of your fellow players. Well, I might do this for you if you do that for me. Yeah, well, it's not built into the game, but, there are goals, like one of my schemes might say, turn the Lord into a frog. Okay. And maybe someone else has one that says that the Lord and the farmer, it might be a passive one where you want the Lord and the farmer to be frogs. Well, if someone is achieving their goal by turning the Lord, well, that you're halfway there. Right. So, so there's some things that could end up benefiting you. Sure. So, sure. Yeah. Okay. And how many players does this take? 1 to 6. So there's a solitaire version. Okay. Yeah. And the way we do that is there are Eye of Newt cards in each of the ingredient decks that are basically wild cards. Okay. And so for the solitaire version, you take those out and then decrease the number of ingredients in each of the locations to 10. Okay. And then you have to score 13 points before 2 of the stacks of ingredients run out. Okay. So yeah, so it's kind of a race against the resources that you've got. Sure. Yeah. So, can I take a guess that witches are brewing potions of different types? Because you mentioned ingredients. Yeah. So you have a book of spells, and there are 8 different spells, and the spells require different ingredients. You mean these spells? Those spells, exactly. So, like, for example, there's a love spell, and it requires 2 fire. So I want to make sure that I have a familiar at the forge. Okay. So let's say I am Elsbeth, so my familiars are snakes. I want to make sure I've got a snake here at the forge so I can get 2 fire. And then when it's my turn to cast spells, I can spend these 2 fire and say, from the belly of desire, the laws of attraction, be chained now without distraction. And then when I do that, I can cause 2 of these villagers to fall in love. And you can move one villager to the location of another villager. So let's say I have the peasant and the lord fall in love, and I move this peasant over to the lord's manor, where the lord is. And now I have the love token on them, and that tells you that their fates are joined now. Mm-hmm. So if I move them or cast spells on them, I only have to affect one to affect the other. So that might be kind of an economical way for me to meet some of my other schemes. Sure. So as far as gathering up the ingredients, then there's a little worker placement. Exactly. Yeah, you're sending your familiars out, to these different locations to get the ingredients you need. And you start with 3 familiars, but there's also a conjuring spell where you can conjure up to 2 more familiars to help you get resources. Okay. So you have to, but it's the most costly one. It costs 1 of each of the ingredients. Yeah. So there's the 4 ingredients, and it takes 1 of each. Exactly. Yeah. So you have to think about, is it better for me to spend those resources up front, getting more familiars that will get me more ingredients that I can use for more spells? So you have to think through those things. So which a lot of times a lot of games don't allow you kind of a long-term strategy. Exactly. Some are sort of I just react every turn. Exactly. In other games, it's all about planning for the end game. Right. Exactly. Yeah. And with this one, there are so many different avenues to achieve the different schemes that you have that, whatever your play style is, you can engage that and still have a great time with it. Nice. So, very nice. Yeah. And those who are lucky enough to be at Gen Con, which you're watching this video, you're probably not, have been able to pick this up, and then it's coming to stores September 16th. September 16th. You even got the exact date. Do. Mark your calendars, everybody. And one more cool thing about it is we have created 3D printer files for all the characters and the familiars and all of the different little tokens that are part of the game. Mm-hmm. And if you purchase the game through the end of the year, actually if you just go to our website through the end of the year, you'll be able to get these files for free. And then there are a lot of FLGSs and some online stores where you can
print your own 3D minis, and then you can paint them and customize them for yourself, and
plus even other companies.
Yeah.
There's plenty of miniatures out there for villagers and things like that, medieval villagers. So people can start using their kind of even customize a little bit to their taste.
Exactly. Yeah. So we wanted to be able to kind of have a way of providing minis in the game without it being a $100 game or something. So.
Do you think in the future you would possibly consider like doing a little expansion pack that has the minis?
Yes. Well, I don't know about the what we'll be able to do with the minis exactly. I would like to. We need to research cost on that and make sure that it's cost effective. But I would like to do that
if it makes sense or not.
Exactly. Yeah.
Let's print up all these things, and then it's like, well, there wasn't really that big a demand.
Exactly.
Sure.
Yeah. But I am going to get started on an expansion for this game. I would love next year. My goal next year is to have an expansion so that people can pick that up and
new schemes,
new
twists and turns.
Yeah. I have a couple of different approaches that I'm thinking about, and it just kind of depends on which one really has the most life to it and is most enjoyable as I play test. But
But now you were talking about an expansion, and that's a very nice segue into what might be on the horizon that you're willing to share.
Yeah. Well, we have 4 new games that we're coming out with next year, and one that we have in partnership with another company. And that one I can't tell too much about. We're excited about that one.
Yeah, I understand. But embargoed info and things like that.
But I can tell you it's another variation in the Panic line.
Okay.
So people who aren't familiar with the Panic line...
So it's Warhammer 40,000 Panic.
Exactly.
No, it's not, folks. I can tell you right now. I guarantee you that's not it.
No, I will tell you that it's a name that will excite a lot of people. That it's has been popular for a very long time in geek culture. So
and everybody knows if they come to this site as soon as that news is available.
Yeah, absolutely.
They'll be able to find it.
Absolutely,
it's not going to be a secret for long.
Yeah. And that one. Will be a whole different way to kind of experience that Panic line, and has all new mechanics.
Like Munchkin Panic.
Like Munchkin Panic and Dead
Panic.
Panic.
If you're familiar with Castle Panic, it's not that difficult to wrap your head around.
Exactly.
But if you're a fan of Munchkin, then you have the different aspects of Munchkin. And which is kind of nice too, because you don't necessarily have to take all the different little... I guess I would say modules or optional rules and plug them all in.
Right.
But the Munchkin Panic plays differently than just Castle Panic.
Exactly. And that's what we try to do with all of our variations, is give you a different play experience. We don't enjoy reskins, and we have to play our games, and so we really
nothing
want to,
lamer than the same old design. Oh wow.
Yeah.
So you changed the theme.
Yeah.
Big deal.
That's how we feel about it.
Right.
So we want to give you a new experience. Exactly.
You want to give people a good reason to go buy it.
Right. Exactly.
As opposed to yes, I'm enslaved to this company. I have to go buy it.
Exactly. So that'll be an exciting variation. And then we have a cat collecting game that's coming out.
Okay.
And
all right, so you're going real cutesy on that, are you? Collecting cats kind of strikes me as...
it's man, we can't... It has these figures. We can't...
Like, dude, I'm telling you.
Yeah, when we put this game out, it has attracted all shapes and sizes.
Because it's kitties, it's cats.
Yeah.
I have a cat.
I had no idea how many people loved cats like this. I'm a dog lover, but...
Not that wimpy, okay? It's a puma that I own, all right? Leave me alone.
So that one is super fun, and it's going to come out. We're hoping March, maybe early April, spring. We're saying spring of 2016.
Sure.
And then Justin's working on a new steampunk game. It's a card game that's really fun. It's going to have these really beautiful airships. So he's working on the art for that right now. And
there aren't enough steampunk games out there. I mean, I'm being serious. There aren't enough good steampunk games out there. There's loads of crap.
Yeah.
But really cool steampunk games are few and far between.
Well, and that's when Justin designs games. He's usually inspired by playing a game that wasn't quite what he wanted, and it starts this process of him figuring out what he really wanted. And
that's what game designers do.
Exactly.
They build it up, tear it down, build it back up.
Right. Yeah. And then, like I said, I'm working on an expansion to the Village Crone, and Justin is working on an expansion to Castle Panic. So we'll have 2 new games and then 2 expansions, and then our variation that we're doing in partnership for Castle Panic.
I'm so sorry to hear that nothing's going on with Fireside Games. I just might as well just close the doors, call it a day.
I know. We're just so boring.
What's going on?
Yeah. Yeah,
and
it's really exciting. Exactly.
Even you had mentioned like the 10x10 booth space.
Yeah.
The first convention.
Yeah.
Well, booth space around here is a little bit bigger than 10x10.
Exactly. Yeah.
Anne-Marie?
We would grow even larger if they would let us here. So.
Right. Sure. Yeah. They're reining you in.
Yeah.
You're oppressing me, Gen Con. I wanted 5,000 square feet. Any final thoughts or anything about Fireside Games that maybe we haven't tackled that you want to share with the audience?
Well, let's see. We've covered a whole lot of ground here. I will mention we are going on tour with the Village Crone.
You're going on tour with you too, huh?
With you too? That's right.
Wow.
That's right.
Oh, you guys are getting big.
Our plan is to try to hit 13 stores, because you win the Village Crone if you score 13 points. We want to hit 13 stores in New England. We're hoping to launch in Salem the weekend. Yeah.
Yes, that's pretty appropriate.
And tour mid-September through mid-October.
Wow.
And just, go out to game stores and show off the game and help people learn how.
Fireside has grown so fast. You guys quit your day jobs.
We
now
did.
You're really running a game company.
That's right.
Now you can go on the road.
Yeah, exactly.
You're gonna have like this $250,000 RV. Just I get it. I know.
Yeah.
I know how you rock stars operate. I get it.
Yeah. Have minions bring us water.
Minions. Yes. You don't even speak. You just snap your fingers and they come.
Exactly.
Along.
We're the palm prawns.
So you're hoping to do that, you said September through October?
Yeah. We're in the process right now of identifying stores and
who are worthy of a visit.
Yeah, right. Yeah. Stores that are interested in really promoting games and helping with the marketing and drawing people in and letting them know, this is such a fun hobby, it's such a fun thing to do, and really sharing that excitement. So
fantastic.
Yeah.
Anne-Marie, thank you so much for taking some time out. Gen Con's crazy as always.
Yeah, absolutely.
Craziest Gen Con to date.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to ask you before we close off. Thursday. I mean, you've been to Gen Cons and things like that.
Yeah.
Probably not even as representing a company.
Right.
Everybody agrees with me. That was the most people I've ever seen on a Thursday at a Gen Con ever.
I agree. That Thursday felt like a Saturday.
It did.
Mm-hmm.
Especially, you were in here before the exhibit hall opened.
Yeah.
And there's different entrances in. It's not like you got to come through 2 doors or anything.
Right.
But the main entrance area was so packed,
you
couldn't get if you didn't want to go to the exhibit hall, it didn't matter. You were stuck.
Right.
Because there was nowhere
through. Exactly.
Yeah, and some people go, board gaming's dying out.
Not at all. Not by a long shot.
Not at all. Anne-Marie, thanks so much for taking some time out, and enjoy the rest of the show, and I'll be looking forward to your secret game that's going to be coming out.
Excellent. Thank you so much.